Have you ever tried to figure out why the shit just don't look right? How did I get into this? Let's talk about my life. So they say I was born May 29th, 1974. Nancy Deschamps, Merrick Boulevard, Jamaica, Queens, New York. As an adult, I'm realizing that my whole life was not what I thought it was. It was an illusion. I was switched at birth. I don't even know who my real parents are. My real birthday is March 5th, well, May 5th, 1972. Born in Massachusetts. I've been living with a karmic family that has been using my real identity. I've been held prisoner in a house that I thought was mine, and it wasn't. For 50 years, everybody was reaping benefits off my real name. Open bank accounts across seas, getting cars, houses, off my inheritance. They used the cults and the government to cipher my energy. To mess with my brain, to make sure I didn't know who I was, where I came from. They made me stressed, in debt. My love relationships was orchestrated. They sent people to act like they loved me and they didn't. They plotted against me. In 2022, to 2023 is when it all started. We could go back 29 years ago when I met the baby daddy, Lamar Boyer White. I was young, vibrant, innocent. I met this baby daddy. You know, he was nice, dark skinned, always kept up nice, had nice clothes, nice everything. I didn't know. I just thought it was gonna be, you know, a boyfriend. 30 years later, 2 kids later, the red flag was he never married me. The red flag was in the relationship, I did everything. Never gave me a dime for any bills. I paid for everything. I did everything. Worked 2 or 3 jobs, helped the kids. And I remember one year, school bus had came, drop off my son. There was nobody at the bus stop. Luckily, I worked around the corner at the hair salon. Had to run and put everybody under the dryer and run home to get my son off the bus. And when I confronted him, he said he forgot. How can you forget about your son? He's not a dog. He's not a cat. That is a human being. I could not understand what father would do that to their child. You know, I learned a lot in this lifetime. Just because somebody says they love you doesn't mean they love you. You must always ask, what do they mean by that? They always talked about vampires, but they talked about the ones that suck your blood. They never talk about energy vampires. The world is made of energy. Everybody has energy. The plants, the animals, the planets, other people. What they don't tell you about is these cults that are energy harvesters. They go around the world looking for energy from souls. Everyone have different frequencies of energy. And I was one of them. Everybody knew but me. All my friends, everybody from school, neighborhood, everybody knew but me. They were all ciphering my energy for years, living off of it like a life support. And I had no idea. I was going through life, going through obstacles, money problems, stress, debt. But through it all, I still strived. I believed in God. But I just thought that's how life was. Making ends meet. Sometimes barely getting by, but getting by. It was just crazy. I thought that was the life. Finally kicked him out. After like 16, 20 years, I don't know. Kicked him out. And I thought I had peace of mind. I felt like I was bamboozled the whole time. I said this couldn't be love. How this could be love? Throughout the whole relationship, I was going out doing me. So it didn't really affect me much because I still was going to my little parties, to cruises, vacation, working, thinking that one day he gonna marry me because he just didn't have it together. So I was like, I'm gonna hold him down till he could get it together. And he just sat on his ass and let me hold him down. And when I gave him an ultimatum, like he gotta get his shit together because this is just crazy, he said, you could just get another job. And it's just one year I said enough is enough. Put my knees down, I prayed on God. I said, listen, tired of this. I feel like a hamster going around and around in circles on that wheel. I can't do this no more. I said, I'm ready, God. I can't. I said, if you can help me get out of this relationship. The sex was good. I was addicted to it. He had a nice size. And I said, I'm done. Sized out. It's time. I've been doing it all by myself already. It's just I had a whole body sitting there not doing nothing. We just playing house. Tired of playing house. So when God weaned me off of that sex, I gave him an ultimatum of 2 or 3 months to get his shit together. Turned out to be a year and a half. Had me bamboozled. Mr. Virgo. So then, I can never forget it. It was Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was coming up, and I was like, I'm still rowing the same damn boat, and I don't like it. Called up his father, and I said, listen, I got some stuff for your sons. Can I drop it off? Or the garbage truck is coming down the block. I'll just throw it in the garbage truck. He said, no, just come down. Father lived in Rochdale, Mr. Charlie White. So I was like, okay. Called the cab, my designated cab. I had like 5 bags. Cab pulled up, started putting the bags in the cab. They were looking at me like, what are we doing? I said, you're a cab driver driving me to my destination. He started looking through the bags. He said, nah, you can't be doing this. I said, why not? I could do whatever I want to do. Got to the destination, started unloading the bags. We get up to the apartment. Father's looking at me. Oh my God, what happened? I said, we had an argument a year and a half ago. Told him to get the fuck out, and he won't. Give me my keys. I said, tell your baby, I come to bring your baby boy back. He has never paid for a bill since he's been with me. He has never paid for nothing. I've come to bring your baby boy back. I said, I told him I need my keys. I need him out of my house, but he refused. So you tell him he could keep his keys as a souvenir. And I come to bring him his stuff. So as I started bringing up the bags, the father looked at the cab driver. He said, oh, I see you moved on. I said, no, this is another inquiry of your sons. I've been paying for everything for him since I met him. And now I got to pay to get him the fuck out my house. So we proceeded to bring up all the boxes, the bags, got rid of it. Got back in the cab. And I was like, the cab driver was like, yo, you good? He said, well, you have no choice. It is what it is now. You already did it. You done it. It's done. I said, yep. He said, where are we going now? I said, my phone started ringing. Looked down at the phone. Baby daddy calling me, blowing up the phone. The father must have called and told him I dropped off all the stuff. I was like, I don't want to go home because I'm not arguing. Don't even want to be in the mood. Went to the mall, stayed at the mall till like 12, till late. It's like 10, 11, something like that. By the time I came home, took a deep breath at that door, opened the door, the keys was on the coffee table. I said, thank you, God. And I have never looked back since. I say like 3 or 4 years went by. I stayed celibate because Mr. Virgo, well, number one, my kids only knew him. That's their father, so they only knew him. So I didn't want to have no men coming around. And I needed to clear myself out and love myself back and get back to myself. I told myself I was going to give myself a year to break, Turned out to be 3 or 4 years. And that's when I met Mr. Anthony R. Goddard, light-skinned Mr. Polo the barber. Worked at the same salon I worked at. Never really cared about him that much because he was short. I loved the name brand Polo. Ralph Lauren was my designer. I liked him. That's all my son wore was polo outfits. We worked at the salon. I was to myself. Really didn't care about shit that was going on anywhere else. The only thing I needed was to make sure my kids were secure. I had money and I was good. So the salon I worked at was like a slash barbershop slash salon in Rochdale. How it's done. It was okay. Went there, worked. One day my son needed a haircut and he just looked horrible. We had to go somewhere. So I asked Mr. Polo to cut my son's hair. He said, yeah, no problem. I said, okay. So cut my son's hair. And from when my son came in, he's poloed out. Polo jacket, briefs, sweats, jeans, hat, everything's polo because I love polo. So after my son got his hair cut and everything, the next day, Polo the barber's like, so I see you like polo. I said, yeah, I like Ralph Lauren's clothes. He said, that's all I wear. I said, I know. Everything you have, my son have. And that's how we just started talking. We loved the same type of music. The name brand was good. He light skinned. I like light skins. He was short, but I was like, we clicked. We could talk about anything. And it was just like a breath of fresh air. We talked. We went to go get some pizza. Like I said, we talked about everything. He started texting me, and I'm like, listen, I'm not a texter. So when he finally called me, I liked his voice on the phone, but his voice was nice. And we had a whole bunch of stuff in common. After, I guess, going out, dating, I don't know what you call it. His ultimatum was he wasn't ready for a relationship. But my intuition is always right. At the time, he had like a 4-year-old or 3-year-old. And I kept asking him if he was with the baby mama. He kept saying, no, he ain't with her. To me, once a child's that little, I didn't even like men with kids. So it was just like, But we worked together. And I was just like, we just vibed. And it was just like a peaceful vibe. As things prolonged, he wanted to just be friends with benefits. Because I was in that relationship for so long, I was like, well, I can do that because I really don't want no attachments. I just come out like a 20-year relationship and it's just, I could do that. I'm fine. Never did it before. Never knew the rules or regulations, but it was just comfortable. Plus, we worked together. So it was just, I would see him every day anyway. He would pick me up, drop me off, and after, work, we'd go somewhere. But I never let him come to the house because I didn't want my kids to see him unless we was serious. I didn't think nothing of it. 3 years go by, and I'm like, yo, okay, this friends and benefits shit. I'm old. I'm not doing this. And he was just like, oh, well, yeah, okay. We could go exclusive or some shit. But what he did was he still kept me in the friends and benefits, but he was acting like he was with me. Long story short, his father ended up dying. So it was crazy because it was December and it was around the time, like almost Christmas, and I had already put in time to go to the Borgata Atlantic City with my kids because I worked so much. I never spent time with them. So I picked up a guy. I was going to go, but his father died. So I started calling the Bagada saying, I got to reschedule. I got a funeral to go to. And he snapped and he said, I told you it's going to be a small funeral. Only friends and family is going to be there. So I looked at him and I'm like, so what the fuck am I? So I said, you know what? He's probably just messed up because he's the only child. His father just died. Let me give him time to think about that and I'll, talk to him about it later. So a week or two go by. And I was like, yo, you never gave me what time the funeral was going to be, da-da-da-da. And he was like, I told you, it's only going to be something small. The father had dipped into the life insurance, so they really didn't have money like that. So it's only close friends and family that's going to be there. My gut feeling was like, nah, he got another bitch. Or he's still, because he had 2 baby mamas, so he's still fucking one of them. And he can't bring me along because then how he going to explain me? So, long story short, I end up going to Atlantic City. And my daughter couldn't go, but I had my son, so we just went. As I'm in Atlantic City, funeral day comes. And my daughter calls me and said, yo, isn't this Anthony's family? Isn't this the funeral on my Facebook? She had the whole service on her feed. And it didn't look small to me. It was friends, family, and everybody there. I was just not there. So all the time, I was the op, I was the bitch. I was the one on the side. It was like, wow, that was really a blow. Like, how could somebody just lead you on like that? How could